What's up, and welcome back to Bring Stars, where today we're talking about a brand new animated kids film, Trolls World Tour, which was a direct-to-digital release because it couldn't come to theaters. Now, to give you a little bit of a quick backstory, I like the first Trolls film, which is actually really fortunate because so does my kid, who has watched it so many times that I basically know the script by heart. And if a kid is going to do that, it's a whole lot better to like the film that they're doing it with, and thankfully I have a good time with that first Trolls movie. Some, good characters, good music, a fairly decent narrative with very good character development from both sides of the spectrum. Nothing game-changing, it's nothing crazy, but it's a decent family film. So overall, I was looking forward to this one, even though the trailers didn't do much to lure me in, but that doesn't mean that we should automatically boycott it either. So let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, boycott. To stop buying or using the goods or services of a certain company or country as a protest. Like when I had some bad shrimp when I was 5 years old and stopped eating seafood altogether. Seafood free since '93. Trolls World Tour expands the world we've already known to include 5 other races of trolls based on different types of music like funk, country, techno, classical, and rock. The main trolls are pop trolls, and the bad guys of the film are the rock trolls, and they plan on stealing the music from each clan to become the ultimate music genre of all. Basically, if you take the plot of Avengers Infinity War and dash a little bit of racism and equality in there, you got Trolls World Tour, because that's essentially what you have here. There's one big bad that's collecting a number of magical artifacts that, when combined, does something really, really bad, which our heroes are attempting to stop. And then you have the idea of race discrimination and being against that of which you don't understand overall. And of course, Poppy, the main troll, is leading a sort of civil rights movement for everybody to just be okay with one another and just be happy, because at the end of the day, we're all trolls. Not a bad message for kids, honestly, and it's a clever way of shooing that message in, because later on in the film, you learn that one of the pop trolls is actually biracial. His heritage says that he is a funk troll, but he sings pop. I actually don't mind the message here. Both films have a good sense of acceptance and opening up your heart to the idea that there's a better way of handling tough situations. But I'll be honest, Trolls World Tour, it's kind of boring overall, and that's because they capitalize on the music gimmick of the first by transforming it into the main plot of the sequel. It wasn't the plot of the first film, it was just a plot device to help advance the actual narrative with the Bergens. Because the people loved the music, they made 1,000 more songs and just stuck them all in a 90-minute time frame, and in doing so, they watered the cast of characters thin. They stretched them all out. They introduced new characters that aren't as good, and really it had a boatload of missed opportunities with the casting. I mean, come on, the main rocker chick could have been Pink, not Rachel Bloom. The main country guy helping him out should have been Blake Shelton, not Sam Rockwell. The main country singer girl with the big red hair should have been, I don't know, Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton, Taylor Swift. I don't know, not Kelly Clarkson. The only casting choice they got right with the new characters was Ozzy Osbourne, basically playing himself. Even when you look at this film with a general scope, it's not hard to realize that the plot isn't very inspired. It's more or less the same thing as the first movie. There's lots of moments that, if you're a fan of the first, you'll notice are carbon copies directly from that movie. And you know what? It honestly baffles me as to how the Bergens were in this movie. They were integral to the first and much better villains than those rocker trolls, but that's just it. This film goes off the idea that only trolls sing, but see, the Bergens sung in the first movie a few times, which creates a massive plot hole in this movie. If these rocker trolls are trying to steal the music from all the characters who sing, that would also mean that they have to steal the music from the Bergens too. And the Bergens are disregarded entirely. Anyways, let's take a look at that final score. This is one of those movies that feels like it was made competently enough, you know? Good enough visuals, nice performances, a decent attempt at changing things up by getting rid of the Bergens and introducing new characters. Also, the civil rights of racial equality is a decent message, so my unbiased score is 76%. However, this is a massively disappointing film that could have been a lot better if they made it more of a sequel than what it feels like, which is a spin-off. My bias score is 66%, averaging everything out to a final score of 71%. 71 out of 100 possible stars, granting Trolls World Tour with a letter grade of C-. I'd like to hear your thoughts if you've seen it. Were you a fan of the first? And how does this one match up to your idea of the first film? If you hated the first Trolls film, do you think that this is technically better? Let me know. As for YouTube, you know what you should do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with the next review. And until then, peace out!